Okay, here we are coming from the south and approaching the bridge where the crash with Bonnie and Clyde and WD took place. Now this side here was a brand new road that they had just put in. The other side, where that truck just went by, was the old road. Okay, this new road was open to traffic, but they had not built the bridge yet down there. So there was a sign somewhere right along where we're standing that said detour, that you had to go over to the old road to cross over the river. Only Clyde Barrow was driving very fast at dusk, not paying attention, and he didn't see the sign, and he went flying down this new section of road, crashed through a barricade down by the river, and launched the car down into the dry part of the riverbed. The river was there, but part of it was dry. People in a farmhouse up ahead here heard the crash, so we're going to go down there to where the farmhouse was and to where their car went into over the embankment. Okay, so here we are. Now on the other side, it probably would have been a wooden bridge at the time. This bridge on this side for the new highway was not built yet. They were going to build it. The bridge that they did build later in the 30s was a truss bridge. And that bridge was also replaced not too long ago with what's here now. Let's walk down to where the car launched. Okay, so right about here is where the car must have flew off the embankment. And as you can see, the river is way over there, flowing under some of those supports. But as in 1933, this part was dry. So when the car launched, I guess W.D. Jones later said, Clyde Barrow yelled out, "This is it." And it flew down, crashed on its side, turned back toward the way they had come, and the battery acid was spurting out. And the Pritchards came down here, and the car was not on fire, or another version says it might have been a small fire that the Pritchards put out really quickly. But Bonnie Parker did not get burned in a fire. She got burned by battery acid. So the Pritchards saw arms reaching out of the busted window of the car. They pulled out Barrow. They pulled out W.D. Jones. And then one of them said, "Hey, there's a kid down here at the bottom." Well, that was Bonnie Parker, because she was so tiny they thought she was a kid. And when they pulled her out, she was moaning in pain and unconscious part of the time. And they carried her up this way, back up to the farmhouse. But this is about where the car would have been laying. And after the crash and after they had left, souvenir hunters came from the town of Wellington, and they stripped a lot of stuff off the car, and they were looking around for stuff that had fallen out of the car. And they found a glove that's in the museum here. So we're underneath the new bridge here that was not in. No bridge was here at that time on this side, and the old bridge was over there. Okay, we're pulled in and parked. This was the driveway to the Pritchard farmhouse going up the hill. I'm going to walk up there and see if there's anything left. The farmhouse collapsed about 25 years ago, and I doubt there's anything left there. And over this way, just several hundred feet, is where the car crashed. Now the family was out on the porch, and they heard the car speeding by, and then they heard the crash. So they ran down to the river to see what had happened. Now, after the family had run down to the river, they helped Clyde Barrow, W.D. Jones, out of the car. And Bonnie Parker had been sprayed with battery acid all over her legs. So they had to carry her back up to the farmhouse. They didn't know who they were, who these people were. They thought they were just some kids that had been out driving too fast. And there's some trees here, and I'd have to look at the pictures, the old pictures, but there were some trees next to the farmhouse. And I'm not sure if these are the trees, but the driveway does come up this far. And I'm thinking the farmhouse was maybe right up there. Well, let's take a careful walk through the grass here. Pritchard farmhouse, how it looked in the 1970s. Clyde Barrow and W.D. Jones took guns out of the car, started hauling guns up the hill, and in this farmhouse they took the Pritchard family hostage. Bonnie Parker was laid on a bed, and the women had been putting baking soda on her burned leg to stop the acid from eating into the skin anymore. Recent interviews with the family descendants tell a different story. All the other accounts of this incident say that Alonzo Cartwright, who was a son-in-law of Sam Pritchard, that he rolled his car down the driveway. It was an old jalopy, like a Model T type car. Got away and got to town and got the sheriff. But recent interviews with the family say that Clyde let Alonzo Cartwright go to town to get the doctor, and the reason was Clyde wanted the doctor's car. He needed a big, powerful car, and he figured the doctor would have a good car. Alonzo Cartwright also informed the sheriff, though he had been warned not to do that. The sheriff and the other lawmen came back to the farmhouse first, and Barrow took them hostage, took them in the car, in their car, and they had to get in the back seat, hold Bonnie Parker across their laps, and Clyde Barrow took off for Oklahoma to meet his brother Buck between Eric and Sayre, Oklahoma. I have another video of that. We stopped there to find the route to the old Cornstalk Bridge. Coming back up from the bridge site, the final thing I have to say is when Alonzo Cartwright got to town, he both informed the sheriff and the doctor. And the sheriff got here first with another lawman. They weren't expecting to walk into anything like the Barrow legacy here. They thought they were probably some drunk kids. Clyde Barrow was angry when he saw the law had come. He wanted to kill Alonzo Cartwright. Fortunately, Alonzo Cartwright didn't come back with the sheriff. He had car trouble and didn't get back. And the doctor was delayed in getting here. So what happened was Clyde Barrow stole the sheriff's car, and they took off down the highway towards Shamrock using the old bridge. And they were looking north in the direction of Shamrock, Texas.